Hey guys, welcome back to Fuck Talk. Today we'll be talking about all the trades that have occurred in the offseason and how we think they will impact each team as well as who won. And obviously there's a big headliner here with one of the biggest contracts in the NHL to Pierre-Luc Dubois just was traded to the LA Kings today and it was a sign and trade. So yeah, that's a pretty huge one. So we'll start off with that.
Kings got fleeced.
That's
Yeah.
with the deal considering. Jesus.
No, because they had no leverage at all.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
why, yeah, that's why I think the Habs
Like,
fell out too. The Habs weren't willing to offer so much because the Jets had no leverage. A great job by the GM though.
the thing is, like, Pierre-Luc Dubois is like a 60 point, 60, maybe 75 point cap of type of player.
Yeah.
He's a second center, and you're paying him nearly $10 million. Like, is that really something you'd want to invest? Like, we've seen many twosies make that kind of money, and honestly, they have never worked out that well.
Well, I mean, it's not just the player too, like the attitude problems too, right? Like how long
yeah.
can you bank on this guy? It's not like some hardworking 60-point guy, right? It's the guy
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
shown that when things get tough, he's just gonna leave
He's gonna shut
or
down
complain.
the
Yeah.
thing is, though, he's coming from Columbus and Winnipeg, two of the worst
two
cities.
really fun
Yeah.
teams to be a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah, really fun. Like awesome cities, like
Yeah.
I love the Winnipeg Winters, they're the best.
Yeah, it's just places that you really don't want to be in terms of like as a hockey on like a good hockey team and also in a city type like feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, like do you guys remember those reports that came out about Shifley and Wheeler being just toxic people?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't blame him. Like Line left for that reason. I mean, maybe the same stuff was going on here, like Dubai was like, okay, I'm done, I'm out of here.
Yeah, oh well, the Jets got Velarde, Iafallo, Kupari, and 2024 second round pick. Which one of those assets? I think Velarde's the best one, right? He has
On the
nice.
return,
Velarde is good.
Velarde is realistically
He's a
the
second
best
liner.
in that deal.
Yeah,
I would say, yeah, Kupari is like a third liner at this point. I think he's gonna stay around there, depth player. And Iafallo's already a proven, like, depth player. I think he's like a 30, 40 point guy.
well, yeah, I do think the Kings wouldn't have re-signed those guys, so that was kind of, let them walk. Like I think they were free agents like next year. I
Yeah.
think that part maybe that's why they gave so much because they weren't gonna be able to retain them anyways. But I don't know. This is a tough deal. But now you got Kopitar, Deneau, Dubois, and Byfield. What does that mean for Byfield now?
I think Byfield should probably get traded at this point. Like, there's no realistic way he's beating Deneau, who's a good defensive player. He can lock down players. Um, Obviously Dubois, who they just traded a huge amount for and signed him to that much. I don't think they're gonna pick Byfield over him, or Kopitar, who's been there for forever, seemingly. So I mean, either they play him on the fourth line, which is really like not good for him,
Yeah.
or they get rid of him for like some defensive assets because they're still lacking in that, or a goaltender.
Yeah, I've seen some people say move him to the wing, but I don't think he's that kind of player. I think he's a
Yeah.
natural center. He needs to be at the center position.
Yeah, and I mean, I would say they should have gone for Hellebuck. Honestly,
Yeah.
with the Kings' current situation, I think they should have paid the Dubois money to Hellebuck. I think would have
Yeah, that
helped them more.
True.
imagine them with a guy that can make a save.
Yeah, like they didn't need another
Yeah.
forward in my opinion. I mean, they already had three pretty good centers. Like Byfield's just needed time, like playing time to develop. Like
Yeah.
their biggest gap was obviously goalie, and I don't know how they're gonna address that.
Yeah, I think Byfield could have been what Dubois is, the big centerman. They just had
He
to
could
give
have
him
been a
the
first
time.
liner too. Like I still believe Byfield has a lot of upside. He just hasn't played much. Like
Yeah.
he got injured right off like I think his second year, and like he's been having some injury problems. But when he played, he wasn't that bad. Like you need to give him a chance to develop.
Everyone from the top two picks from that draft class have kind of been screwed over. Lafreniere and New York Rangers, and now Byfield that doesn't look good for him
Yeah,
with the Kings.
Stutzel's 90 point season though, so I mean, good for them.
Yeah. Well, I guess getting drafted to a good team isn't always the best for development.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys have got anything else to say about that trade or?
no, but I think while Winnipeg did a really good job, I mean, if LA gets a semi-serviceable goaltender, I think they might be challenging Edmonton and Colorado for the West favorites.
That center core though, I don't think there's a better center core in the league now. Those three guys
Yeah,
down the middle, like who's beating them?
unless Toronto resigns Ryan O'Reilly, then I would say that's still a bit better. But yeah, I think they're a pretty good center core. Dano, defensive player. Uh, Kopitar is also a pretty good defensive player, and like Dubois is a good, 60, 70 point guy.
Yeah, it seems like they have infinite cap space right now. I don't know how the Kings are pulling it off.
It's gonna bite them later when
Big
they have
market,
to
big
resign
market, big
Clark.
market.
Well, that cap space is still like
It's a,
it's a
I think
cap.
it's gonna because they still have their young guys on like
Yeah.
ELCs right now while they're trying to go for that run. So like while they have this small window, obviously they're not gonna have that many cap problems at once. You have to resign your Clarks, your Byfields if he does decide to stay and go do well, then yeah, it's gonna be a tough
Well, they
situation.
got Turco too.
He's had so many injury problems. I don't even think he's gonna see NHL ice.
Really?
Like yeah, like it's so bad. Like his concussions are so bad. Like it'll be a mirror. Like the games he did play, he didn't do very well in, and like with his concussion problems, like we don't even know if he's a mainstay in the NHL at this point.
Well, I mean that's fair, yeah. Also, can we talk about how the Habs messed us up so bad? He wanted to go there. They just straight up didn't offer anything, I'm guessing.
I was hearing that Habs wanted it until the end. We're in it until the end, but Winnipeg wanted like current good players rather than the
Oh
futures
yeah,
that the Habs were offering.
they wanted Doc, right? They can't
Yeah,
move. They didn't want to part ways with them.
like I mean, honestly, if I was Winnipeg, I would have taken the futures because like you can't compete with this team now.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess they got what they got. Dubois eventually chose LA as his destination in the end, so good for him. He's going to
Hopefully he
Hollywood.
enjoys it. Hopefully he likes it. Doesn't demand.
Uh, I mean, I'm sure he will. He's making 8.5, so yeah, he's gonna love it.
Yeah. Okay, and what other trade? Let's talk about the Tyler Toffoli deal.
Crazy.
Um,
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm a Igor Sharangovich fan,
Yeah.
but Tyler Toffoli was a 70-point scorer. He had 30 plus goals, and
He was arguably the best player on the team at the
Well,
time.
I'll
and
say
now
this way.
New Jersey's offense just got
They have
much
like
much better.
they have like the best like offensive roster on paper. Like other than like I can't think of one right now.
Yeah, I'll say the four trades though for once. So the Devils got Toffoli, and then the Flames got 2023 third round pick and Igor Sharangovich. So yeah, it was like relatively cheap, I think.
It was pretty cheap. Like Flames paid a
For Tyler
first plus a
Toffoli,
prospect.
Considering what the Flames paid the Habs, they
Also, like
paid.
they paid more for a 50-point Toffoli than they got for a 70-point Toffoli. So I mean,
Yeah.
like that's terrible asset management. Conroy's not off to a good start. If I was him, I would have just kept Toffoli for the year and try to push for the playoffs, and then figure it out later. But I guess he tried to recoup his assets and he just got burned in the trade.
He's put into a really, really tough spot though, Conroy.
I would,
Everything is
I,
falling
I, I
around
would
him.
agree. I would agree, but like, I feel like standing pat here and not moving him at all would have been
Yeah.
the better choice.
I mean, isn't he one of the guys that could stay? Like he couldn't have moved anybody else. There's like a bunch of people that want to leave Calgary right now, right?
Toffoli said that he wanted to leave too, and I think
You want to leave?
Fitzgerald, yeah, he said that he was done. He was not resigning after this year, and I think Fitzgerald took advantage of that and got him for a discounted price. I really wanted the Leafs to get him, but he's on New Jersey now.
Flames really haven't been the same since that Oilers series. It's been a constant spiral.
Yeah,
I don't think
I
there's
mean,
much of a battle in Alberta anymore.
it's more. I mean, I think they switched spots honestly. Like Flames were those like contenders guy, I guess, making the playoffs. And Oilers were those like first overall pick farmers, but now, it's
Yeah.
opposite. And the thing is with the Sean Monahan trade in 2025, the Oilers don't even have their first round pick.
Oh yeah, the Flames they're in a really tough spot. But
So I mean either you tank this year and go for that pick in 2024, but then you have to try to keep yourself like, competitive for the 2025 year.
yeah, I mean, you can't rebuild, right? Because you just signed Kadri and Hooper. This is a whole another conversation though. But
I mean, their only hope right now is to get their stars to produce like Kadri, Huberto. Uyghur was pretty decent, but like yeah, Markstrom was just
Marshall
downright
was
terrible.
yeah,
not playing like how he should be.
if he wasn't complete ass, they would be in a playoff spot. And who knows what happens.
Definitely, definitely, because he was the one that sold
Marshall
like
was really suffering throughout the whole entire season.
The amount of times he let in the first goal of the game within like the first 30 seconds was alarming. Like I
He's
don't know
really
how long his
inconsistent. He's really
I,
like he'll have like a Vezina caliber season, and then he'll play like he did that in Vancouver too. He had
yeah, I guess, but
seasons, he
like
had complete
now that
absence.
he's like 30 plus, like do you think he's gonna return to form?
I wouldn't count him out. He did
I
have
wouldn't
2
say
years
return
ago.
to form. I would say played better than this season.
Yeah.
I won't say
And
he would go back to like how he was before this season.
yeah.
I don't
Well,
think he's gonna be a Vezina finalist, but he's gonna have like an average starter season. Like the
yeah.
season he just had was way below average. So
That's all they need from him. They're not expecting much, I'm
They they
guessing.
just they just need him like a above average season.
Yeah. So the winner of the trade, I think we all agree, is the New Jersey Devils.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
They have some really
They
nice
have a
options.
killer offense now. It
Like
was really good before, but holy.
like
yeah.
there's your like if they re-sign Timo Meyer, your top six is Palat, Hughes, and Bratt, and then Toffoli, Heischer, and Meyer.
Yeah.
Ah,
That's crazy, man. That's like an all-star team. But yeah, okay. And then what other trade do we want to talk about? Let's go Alex Newhook. The Habs gave up a boatload for him. They gave up the 31st overall pick, 37th overall pick, and Fairbrother, who is a prospect.
He's
of
like a
course.
D prospect, but yeah, I think the Habs won that one. Like, wasn't isn't New Hook supposed to be this good like 2C? Like I don't know
Yeah.
how
He's supposed to be good. He
the
just never got a chance
yeah
in
he like
Colorado.
he's gonna get like second line minutes according to Kent Hughes. I mean like, do you think the Avs do we think the Avs will really draft like a better talent like near the end of the first round or early second round? Like that those chances are pretty astronomical, I would say.
Well, they traded his RFA signing rights, so I think the problem was that they couldn't fit him under the cap.
Yeah, and
Because they got
Habs have a lot of cap too, so like
yeah.
they're getting a good young core, Slavkovsky, like New Hook, But
This
I
is a
think
trade
New
I
Hook
think
is pretty
yeah,
good.
go. This is a trade that I think both teams won because Avs have to re-sign Comfort too. I think this frees
Yeah,
up space to do that. And they got quite a haul, but then Habs, they already have they have like a deep pipeline and a lot of picks
yeah,
anyways. So I think both teams ended up on the winning side on that. What do you guys
yeah.
think?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
I think that the has just made a good move in general for this.
Yeah, they're
And
good at that. Like
it
Doc
was
last year too.
yeah, like good for them, like they're doing the rebuild pretty well. So yeah.
And then do we want to talk about the trade that didn't happen? The D'Angelo
No, what
trade?
about the Hayes trade?
Oh, the Hayes trade. Let's see where the Oh yeah, Hayes. He got traded to the Blues for a 6th round pick. That's a
Hmm.
steal.
I mean, anything to get off that contract, but you're still paying him like 3 point something because they retained half.
Yeah, but he seems like the perfect blue though.
Yeah, Chippy,
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I think the Blues will try to contend now. Like I heard like they might
Yeah,
try to go after Ryan O'Reilly again. So maybe they're gearing up for another run this year.
they were supposed to get D'Angelo from the Flyers. Oh no,
No,
sorry.
I thought that was Carolina.
Yeah, sorry, that I messed up. That's Carolina. No, Blues were supposed to trade Krug to the to the Flyers. Yeah,
They had the Flyers and the Blues had this whole thing going for
yeah,
like 2 days, and then it kind of fizzled apart. Like
yeah,
there were Sanheim, Carter Hart, Kevin Hayes, like all these names were involved. But I think this is what it boiled down to. Like after all that, like they decided like okay, we're just gonna make this deal.
yeah. Krug wouldn't waive his no move clause,
Yeah.
which
I
is
think
fair.
Krug. I think we would have seen like a huge blockbuster,
Yeah,
but Krug didn't waive his like
but I
clause.
mean,
So
who'd want to go to Flyers?
yeah, Philadelphia is pretty terrible.
Yeah, but then you got Torts as the coach. Yeah, you're not attracting many people.
Yeah, I mean it can't be as bad as Babcock in Columbus though.
Yeah, I mean, holy, those two combinations. It's like an anti-free agent magnet, just pushing people away.
Yeah, I
Nobody's
mean
gonna come.
Goudreau really went from Sutter to Babcock, which is just nice. Which is nice to think about, eh?
Yeah, he wasn't a fan of Sutter, I'm guessing either. That's probably the reason he left. And Mackenzie Blackwood also got traded for a 2023 6th round pick to the New Jersey Devils.
Good for the Sharks. They another goalie project. I mean, Hill was just a Stanley Cup champion. I don't think it'll play out the same way, but I think he's like young. He's 24, 25, right?
He's around there,
Blackwood.
yeah. It's like a low risk, high reward type of deal, you
Yeah.
know?
Like he's a sixth rounder. He was gonna, I believe, like they weren't even gonna give him a qualifying offer. He was gonna go to UFA. At least they got something back for him.
Yeah, I mean, at
But
Blackwood, like, what is it? Like 1 or 2 seasons ago, he was the starter for the Devils, right?
yeah, but he had COVID, and then like the knee injuries really like set him back.
Yeah, but I think he has potential. I think he
I think so
definitely
too.
could be like one of the guys, like one of the top guys on the Sharks. Who do they have right now? Reimer?
Reimer,
Or he's leaving maybe, I think.
yeah.
He's a free agent. Well, yeah,
Who
he's gonna
else
be a
is?
starter.
That's about it. Like they don't have many others.
Sharks really do need a solid goal. They haven't had one in so long. They had Martin Jones before. That he was meh. Hopefully he turns into the guy there for him. I always liked Blackwood. I was always rooting for him.
Yeah,
And do you guys have any other trades that we want to talk about, or are we good?
I think we're good for now. I don't think there were any
I
bigger
think.
ones. Oh, the Hall trade. The Hall trade.
Oh wow, there's no
Oh,
way. Yeah, it was yesterday. That's why I missed it. Taylor
Yeah,
Hall,
that was a
holy.
big one. Boston really needs cap space, and I think Bedard now has a line mate to play with him. He's not going
Yeah,
to be playing with a bunch of AHL, EA generated names next year.
I feel bad for Hall to be honest. Like he got like 1 or 2 seasons on a good Boston team, and then after that he's done. Like he's played on
Yeah,
some really really bad teams over his career.
he signed the extension last year too. I think, like, has got a Chicago wasn't even on his clause, which is crazy to think about.
Maybe Bedard enticed him.
I think he just forgot about them,
Forgot.
honestly.
real.
Because I mean, nobody really thought about the Hawks that much, and like they didn't even talk to him about it. They just shipped him off. So like he's gone. Bye bye.
Well, the trade was Hall and Foligno to the Hawks, and then the Bruins got Regula and Ian Mitchell. So it's
Yeah,
like so they pretty much got nothing.
and like we know now that the Hawks signed Foligno to a 4 million X1 deal.
Yeah, that's
So I mean, I guess they're just veteran leadership in the locker room for Bedard, because this is Bedard's team now. Like we all agree, right?
yeah.
Like this is
Yeah.
his franchise now. Like he's running the show already the first day.
Well, yeah. I mean, like it's like McDavid. You build a team around him,
Yeah,
and like who's the second best player? But before the show, it was like Tyler Johnson was the
Tyler
second best player.
Johnson.
Seth Jones on defense. You don't got much help. I feel like he'll develop really good. Like we were talking, it's hard to develop prospects on a good team. He'll get all the opportunities on the Hawks.
Yeah,
But I mean, I think the Bruins could have gotten more, no, for Hall?
I mean everybody knew they were in a cap crunch, so
Yeah,
they
I guess.
got. I think they took the first offer they could find.
Yeah. Well, Bruins really, this was their year and they choked it away.
I
They're in a
don't. I
real
think
tough
they're going to be
spot.
fighting for a wild card spot next year. Like there's no way they're going to be this good. I think Ottawa will actually beat them in the wild card race. Hot take.
Yeah. Well,
Yeesh.
well, with the full season of Chikrin and Shabbat together, their D is their only problem. I think the Chikrin move I really like from Ottawa. They
Yeah.
addressed their problems. And I hope they sign a free agent in like a defensive
Hopefully they
defenseman.
get a good goalie too.
Oh yeah, the goaltending is always a little.
Shaky.
I
Shaky.
mean, yeah. I think you should sign a bunch of guys, like maybe two, like what Vegas did this year. Who did they run with? They were ran with. They had Thompson, Bressois, and Hill.
Hill and then quick fourth string.
Yeah. Goalies are voodoo, man. Just sign a bunch of them and hope for the best. Like even
Yeah.
Vasilevsky fell off, in the playoffs. It's really hard to predict them.
Unfortunate.
I mean,
Not
yeah.
for me.
I think.
Congratulations on the first round win.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, yeah. Well, the Tony D'Angelo trade got canceled pretty much by Gary Bettman. You guys know about that one?
Yeah, yeah. But the
Yeah, I
thing is,
remember.
I read about it. Gary Bettman said that like it doesn't even matter because like they're gonna appeal this decision. Like I think later this week, and then if it doesn't go through now, then they can just trade him apparently on July 12th,
Yeah.
which is when like it'll be a year since he was traded to Philadelphia.
I mean, just let it go at this point. Nobody's trying to cap circumvent.
Like they're arguing. Gary Bettman argued that since Carolina traded him and is getting him back at a retained salary now,
Yeah.
it's cap convention. But like Philadelphia signed that contract. It wasn't like Carolina signed it, then traded him,
Yeah.
and then got him back, retained.
Yeah, but like
So
what What's Philadelphia's grand plan? Pay so much for D'Angelo and then ship him off for less after retaining 50%? Like, I don't get how that would be. I don't know how that would be like a strategy. Nah. I think
Yeah, I don't understand. Like whatever, like teams have gotten away with worse. Like this minor detail would not not stop not like disrupt anything.
Tampa and Vegas literally won cups because of exploiting the system, and you won't let this
I
go.
mean, I hope this means that there will be a stricter like rule change coming in the future, but if it's just doing this for nothing, then what's the point?
Well,
Like,
this is like a clear rule in like the rule book that you can't like retain a player 1 year after you've traded them. Like it's yeah,
um,
but like I mean, it's really weird thing for them to like I don't
uh,
know. It's like a really weird place to draw the line, you know?
yeah,
Everything they've let go. Oh, also one more trade. Sean Jersey went to the Montreal Canadiens for a second. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Sean Jersey
Coyotes.
went to the Coyotes and the Kings got a Montreal second round pick.
Good for the Coyotes. Sean Jersey is a good young defenseman.
Yeah.
He can put up 50 to 60 points.
Yeah.
And since he's going to be playing a lot more, I think he's the Chickman replacement for them. So, he doesn't play defense that well, but, he's an offensive guy. So, you take what you can.
I mean, Coyotes are just trying to, I guess, fill the seats, you know?
Yeah.
Get some people sitting. And wait, there's one more too. Ryan Johansson got traded too.
Oh, yeah, the
50%.
half pertain.
I
Yeah.
I mean,
forgot.
Colorado,
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Colorado found their 2C, and Nashville can continue on with their rebuild. So good for them. Now, what I want is them to trade Saros.
Saros, I don't think you part ways with him. He's an all-star goalie on like a 5 million contract.
Yeah, but like, what are you gonna do with like an aging goaltender when they're rebuilding? Like, you're just gonna waste him.
I mean, yeah, like he's on 5 million for 2 more years, I think. Some
Yeah,
team would pay a boatload for him. Like he's that contract isn't in their window anyways. He'll make like 10 or 11 million after the cap jump and everything.
yeah, he's gonna make a boatload of money. So I'd say capitalize on him when he can. But Nashville's going in the right direction, and the draft is tomorrow as well. So who's excited to see Bedard get drafted?
Yeah, I
Not
mean,
me.
Yeah, drafted number 11.
Yeah, I hope he's number 11th.
Yeah, no specific reason, but I don't know. I just have a strong feeling he's gonna go number 11.
But like, if Bichkov drafts to 11, I don't think he's a bad consolation prize either.
now he's going if he drops, he's getting taken by the Caps.
No, 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 no,
100%.
There's
I
no way he
agree.
drops under the Caps.
They're a Russian like team basically. Like it's
Yeah.
Team Russia over there in Washington, which is kind of ironic. But
that's pretty funny.
Well, that's
but
what
yeah,
so that's
Bichkov.
why.
But like, yeah, he's gonna get drafted by the Caps. I hope he doesn't. I hope somebody else takes a chance on him because he's a really good talent.
Yeah,
Well, there's a lot of uncertainty with them, you know?
how about most of the people that going into the lottery just get drafted number 11? That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Now Canucks will end up drafting some
No,
random ass.
no, you're lying. No, 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 no,
I
no. There's
mean,
no way. No way. No, that's not gonna happen. No.
I mean, we know David Reinbacher is the best defenseman in this class, but the second best I would say is Axel Sandin Pellikka, both of which are pretty good defensemen. I think Pellikka is right-handed too. So I mean, Canucks have a lot of options in this draft.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
Leafs, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
well, I mean, the Johansson trade. Who do you
Oh
guys
yeah,
think won that?
uh,
I think Avs won, but I heard Preds were gonna buy him out anyway.
I think
Like,
Preds won because they got off that salary. To be honest, like that, like
but they're
Colorado
retaining
got their
four.
2C sure, but like Johansson was kind of washed.
But they're retaining 4 million. You're pretty much paying him like half his salary. That's quite a bit.
Yeah, half the salary, but still, like Nashville still got like 4 million in free space, and I think cap space is the most valuable asset in today's NHL.
Yeah.
So I mean, they got what they needed. Honestly, it's not that big of a difference. I think it's a win-win, but like I would prefer Nashville's side because they have money to spend on stuff.
Yeah. And I don't know how good of a center Johansson will be for the Avs. Like
I
I
mean,
don't
he's
know if
gonna be
he's the answer.
decent. He's gonna be decent because he's a good player, and it's the Avs are pretty offensively gifted. But
Yeah.
yeah, time will tell.
I mean, I think now for real, we're actually done with all the trades. I'm just looking through one more time. Do we want to talk about the Oliver Ekman Larson buyout too?
Who cares? He's gone.
Nobody cares.
That's all. That's all. That's all that we have to say. He's
It's
gone.
pretty cut and dry.
Yeah, I mean, okay,
He's
well,
gone, and now we can maybe get a defender that can skate.
well, now the Canucks still have to dump Cap apparently.
My
They're
God.
still in a tough spot, but yeah,
I mean, Garland has been in a lot of trade rumors.
yeah, but
Garland to the Leafs would be awesome, I would say.
he's good.
He can be a good bunting replacement, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
without doing any of the dumb things, he
Yeah.
keeps it in check. He's a gritty guy, but I think he's too small.
I think bunting was pretty small too. I mean, he'll just get under everybody's nerves
Yeah,
and set up the big guys for the goals. But yeah, like he's a good addition anywhere. I think Boston were looking at him too. Uh,
Boston's in a cap hole right now, though. I don't think they're
yeah,
gonna acquire anybody.
yeah.
Or-
Also, with Eric Carlson, the Leafs, Carolina Hurricanes, and I think the Panthers were involved with
Wait,
Eric Carlson talks.
Eric Carlson, like the defenseman.
Yeah,
Holy, imagine him. I want him to leave the Sharks, man.
I want to leave the Sharks, but like I don't want him to be on the Leafs because he's like that. With this 1 year, like his value is going to be an all-time high, and it'll cost a lot of assets.
You get like the core five then, man. That's a little much.
No, he would definitely have to be 50% retained if he does come.
Yeah, but like I want him on a good team. Like he's a good player. I was just watching like the highlight reels of him. He's a really, really good offensively gifted player. If I want him to go to Carolina, pair him with Slavin, they're gonna go off.
They already have Burns though. I mean,
Oh yeah, that
when
didn't work out last
Carlson
time.
was what needs to be the number one offensive guy on that team to flourish because when Burns was there, he didn't do that well. He needs to be running the offense. And even with the Leafs, there's Morgan Riley. Like he won't be running the D-Corps offense,
Yeah.
especially that well. I think the best team for him, would be like a team with no offensive like firepower in the back end. Um, I don't really know a team like that, but
Yeah. Minnesota maybe.
Minnesota, yeah, that could work.
They're a
But
bubble team
again,
anyway.
they're in cap hell because of Suter and
Yeah.
Parise.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be a tough trade to execute because I don't think the Sharks want to retain too much anyways.
Yeah,
But if
I
you want
mean
to move,
the Oilers were heavily involved in Nurse. I mean not Nurse.
oh my God, imagine him
Carlson
with
to
McDavid. That
Mm, mm, mm.
that power play, man. That almost happened at the deadline, but I think Ekholm was the right call for the Oilers for what
yeah
they needed. But
yeah
Eric Carlson, that could be. I'd love to watch that.
yeah. I want to see what the Leafs do tomorrow with the 28th pick. I think it's gonna be traded for sure.
Well, with Dubas, you always knew he'd trade down. Now it's a new GM. You don't really know, right?
Yeah, but Tree Living has always been a good drafter. He's drafted pretty good players. Like outside of Bennett, like he's drafted, Dubé, Mangiapane, uh, what's his name? Valimaku was pretty good before they traded him. So
Yeah.
like, I'm not worried about his drafting skills as such, but like I just want to see what the direction of this team is gonna be because as of right now, they have made no moves, so I have no clue what he's trying to do. I guess his focus has been on Matthews and Nylander right now, which is pretty fair. But I wonder what he's planning.
Low key, the flat cap is kind of nice. The trades are there's so many nicer trades. When the cap was going up, the trades were kind of lame all the time. It's kind
I
of
guess I would say they're definitely more complicated now,
yeah.
but I would like to see a cap increase because right now, like players want more and more money, and they're not allowed to use any of it.
Yeah, it's supposed to go up a lot in like the next 2 years, like 3 to 4
Hopefully, yeah,
million. But yeah, tomorrow's the draft. Well, it'll be tonight for the people watching probably, or it might
yeah.
have happened already. But we're excited for it, and those are pretty much all the trades that we could think of right now.
I guarantee I'm gonna throw up when I see Bedard walking up in that Blackhawks jersey. It's gonna give me nightmares.
Well, I mean, if there was one team that desperately needed him, it would probably be the Hawks.
They
Well,
don't
like,
deserve it though. I wish
They don't
who
like
deserve it.
cares? It's the Hawks.
They
You
don't
wanna know
deserve it
who
at
else
all.
deserves him more?
I
Even though
wish
they really don't.
Not Vancouver, is it?
The people that are taking the 11th pick.
Oh,
That's
okay.
who should get him.
I mean, Vancouver didn't win all those unnecessary games in the end. They could have gotten Michkov at least. I think he
That's
would have
why I'm
fit their
pissed.
timeline pretty good as well because they
That's why I'm
don't need
pissed.
like somebody to make an instant impact. They need somebody to like come in. But yeah, like I would have preferred if the Ducks got him or even the Sharks. Like I was really rooting for the Sharks.
For Mitchkov?
Yeah, no, Bedard.
Bedard, oh yeah. He'd be good on the Sharks. He'd be a good fit. Maybe Eric Carlson wouldn't have to be traded then. You just leave him there.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I think Sharks should still take Michkov because their timeline just fits too well with his.
He's supposed to fall, like the top 5 is supposed to be like pretty concrete. He's supposed to fall out of the top 4 to 5, I think. That's projected.
Yeah, but I want I mean, thing is, if anyone who passes on Michkov other than but like other if you're getting Bedard, then it's okay, right? But if you're through onwards, right, and you pass on Michkov, then I have a really strong feeling that you're gonna regret that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's the closest thing to. Is Ovechkin too bold? But like, he's the closest thing to him I can think of.
I think he is
Sure,
like a
shooter.
younger Ovechkin at this point. Like, he's a goal scoring machine. He can't play defense that well, but like I think he's the second best player in this draft, and he can he if he wasn't in Russia, he would have been challenging Bedard for one.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happened this year. The whole Russia situation. His dad died too this year, so that kind of threw him off.
That was apparent. That was very shady business. How his dad died, but
Yeah, I mean, will be an exciting draft.
yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you guys have anything else, or are we good for this show?
I think we're done. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for watching, guys.
All right.